Politicians in Westminster are about to vote to send key Brexit legislation to the Lords. The Withdrawal Bill has been criticised by every Scottish party for the impact it could have on devolution unless changes are made. And one Scottish peer is warning the Lords might try and scupper the legislation if there's no agreement with Holyrood. Our political correspondent Nick Eardley is in Parliament tonight. So Nick, what's the latest?
Well, Jackie, MPs in the Commons up there are just making their final votes on this. We're not expecting any drama. I think the government will win those votes fairly comfortably, including an SNP attempt to have this all thrown out at the last minute. And then this crucial legislation moves that way to the House of Lords. Now, we know that all the Scottish parties agree there have to be changes to this legislation on the areas that affect devolution. But just how easy will that be? It's proving tough work, building up the infrastructure needed for Brexit and keeping everyone happy. In here, the Cabinet Office, they're trying to find common ground with the devolved governments. The Withdrawal Bill, converting EU law into UK law, is a key sticking point. The Scottish Government says it won't give its backing at the moment, and it's now going to be left to the Lords to make the changes everyone agrees are necessary. That's what's behind much of the anger this week, that as of tonight the decision will be left to peers rather than MPs. Now, the UK Government says it is still committed to changes. It will fully consult with the Scottish Government. Scottish ministers will be here in a few weeks to tell peers what they want. But remember that not every party is represented in the House of Lords. The SNP aren't there, so they'll be trying to find surrogates to make their case. This former Deputy First Minister of Scotland is one of them.
Yeah, I've been talking to a number of people, including SNP MP and crossbench peers. I think there's a genuine will to see if we can to go forward on areas where there's a substantial measure of agreement to try and find a way forward, and I'm happy to play my part in that.
He also says if the government does make the changes it's pledged, they might not be enough.
They've made a promise, Secretary of State has made a promise, they've got to honour that promise, and then we'll consider, in fact, whether what they bring forward does honour the promise they made.
What if ministers here don't reach agreement with the Scottish Government? A warning tonight.
I think if the Scottish Parliament refuse to give it a legislative consent, then the House of Lords would be within our rights to say this bill cannot go through until it gets a legislative consent motion from the Scottish Parliament, and that could scupper the bill completely.
Nobody from the UK Government was available to speak to us tonight, but in a statement, a spokesperson said, "We have made good progress in our discussions with the Scottish Government on common frameworks, and we look forward to making significant further progress over the coming weeks. We have made clear that we will bring forward an amendment to Clause 11 in the Lords, and are confident we can get to a position which has the support of all sides." For now, work to build that consensus goes on. Nick Eardley reporting Scotland, Westminster.